Hello, gorgeous people. You're gonna absolutely love this. It's the 94th minute. The score is tied 2-2. A striker runs toward goal with only the keeper to beat. He charges forward, takes aim, and shoots. Can he score? Will they win? No. Standing in his way is the last line of defense, the coolest kid on the pitch, the goalkeeper. Because when all else fails, it's their job to be heroes. This is the story of the goalkeeper. I was born in a small town in England where football isn't just a sport, it's a religion. And my dad was a goalkeeper for our local team. Now he wasn't particularly good, but that didn't stop me from idolizing him. Every Saturday after Mass, we'd walk down to the pitch where he would train. And while he was practicing his kickouts, I'd grab a ball and try to score against him. But no matter how hard I tried, he always saved my shots. That's because being a goalkeeper is not about being the best athlete or the strongest or the fastest. It's about heart, bravery, and most importantly, positioning. You see, to be a great goalkeeper, you need to read the play, anticipate what's going to happen, and position yourself accordingly. My dad had a sixth sense about where the ball was going, and if he positioned himself correctly, he had a better chance of saving my shots. Being a goalkeeper is more than just diving around and making spectacular saves. It's about being calm, focused, and in control, even when everyone around you is losing their mind. It's about being the last line of defense, the person who stands between your team and disaster. Now, have you ever wondered why a goalkeeper has two gloves on only one hand? Well, that's because their weaker hand acts as a stabilizer, helping them balance themselves and remain rooted to the spot when making a save. See, in the heat of the game, there are three basic things a goalkeeper needs to do. First, there's shot stopping, which is exactly what it sounds like, stopping shots from going into the net. Second, there's reflex saves. These are unplanned, instinctive moves that goalkeepers make to react to sudden and unexpected shots. And third, there's catching the ball. It's all about timing and technique, my little football fan. When a striker takes aim at the goal, a goalkeeper must position themselves correctly to maximize their chances of making a save. For example, if the striker is right-footed and shooting from the right side of the penalty area, the goalkeeper will likely dive to their right to cover the far corner of the net. This is called diving, and it's one of the most exciting and nerve-wracking aspects of the game. It's the moment when everything hangs in the balance and the crowd goes silent. Then the ball hits the back of the net, and the stadium erupts in cheers or groans depending on whether the goalkeeper makes the save or not. But it's not just about diving. A goalkeeper also needs to be able to punch the ball away from danger if it's heading toward the goal, but isn't a solid shot on target. This requires a combination of strength, technique, and timing. If done correctly, the goalkeeper can send the ball away from danger and prevent a scoring opportunity. But if done incorrectly, they could end up hurting themselves or allowing the opposing team to score. As I said, sometimes it's easier to catch the ball. To catch the ball properly, a goalkeeper must use two hands and bring them together above their head to form a triangle shape. This helps to increase the surface area of their body so that the ball has more contact with their arms and torso before hitting the ground. But wait, sometimes they only catch the ball with one hand, like in this clip here. Well, that's because if the ball is coming straight toward them, it's easier to catch it with one hand instead of two. Plus, if they catch it with two hands, they might fall backwards and expose their net. So one hand is enough, my friend. Just like this penguin here. Notice how he catches the fish with one flipper and then tucks it under his other flipper to secure it. Same thing with goalkeepers, except they don't eat their catch. Okay, sometimes they do. Being a goalkeeper is more than just making saves. It's about being a leader, communicating with your team, organizing the defense, and keeping everyone focused. It's about being the one who steps up when everyone else looks to you for support. When I was a kid, I used to look up to my dad and the other goalkeepers I saw on TV. They were larger-than-life figures who seemed to have superpowers, and I wanted to be just like them. Of course, I never became a professional footballer, but that didn't matter, because being a goalkeeper taught me valuable lessons that I carry with me to this day. It taught me the importance of teamwork, communication, and the power of believing in yourself. Now, if you want to learn more about football, stay tuned for more videos. In the meantime, here's another video you can watch. It's about the most important positions on the field, the defender. And until next time, keep playing, keep dreaming, and remember, the goalkeeper is the last line, the hero when all else fails. Beautiful. If you love these types of videos, please hit the like button. And if you really love them, please subscribe. It will help us out tremendously. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Every great team has one thing in common, a sweeper keeper. Just like last time, your enjoyment of this video depends entirely on how much you enjoy watching grown men kick a ball into a net. If that sounds terrible to you, then just go ahead and watch another video. But if that sounds like a good time, let's get into it. Here are a few things that all goalkeepers have in common. They all wear gloves, even though they never wash their hands, which means they smell terrible. They're also the only position where people will cheer when they mess up. And most importantly, they spend about 90% of their time standing around doing absolutely nothing, until suddenly they have to make a decision really quickly, or else somebody scores. We've already covered the basics of shot stopping in our last video, so this time we'll look at some of the other things a keeper needs to do. But first, even though you're spending 90% of the match doing absolutely nothing, there are still things that you need to be aware of when playing as a goalkeeper. In this example, the striker makes a clever run in behind and gets on the end of a through ball. Now, most of you would immediately think to press the little button that makes your character slide over there and try and tackle him. But instead, if you just hold down the control stick, you'll see he starts to jog. And because he's faster than the striker, he'll slowly walk his way past him and get to the ball first. It's important to remember that even though you're a goalkeeper, you can still use your feet to keep yourself between the ball and the goal. And once you get close enough, you can use a regular tackle to win the ball. Remember that because as a goalkeeper, you're often going to find yourself in situations where the striker is one-on-one with you. This technique will help you out a lot. One of the hardest things to master as a goalkeeper is dealing with crosses into the box. If you're too slow to react, you might find yourself with 3 attackers all beating you to the ball. In these situations, the best tactic is to try and punch the ball away from danger. To do this, move your head to the side so that the attacker closest to you can't challenge for the ball, and then jump and swing your fist at it. If you time this right, you should be able to punch the ball away from danger and hopefully one of your teammates will clear it. Sometimes though, the cross comes in so fast that you won't be able to punch it away. In this case, it's better to use your body to try and shield the ball away from the attacker and then catch it. Don't ever dive with your arms outstretched, trying to catch a cross. Not only is it unnatural, but it'll leave your goal wide open. The only time you should dive for a cross is if you're trying to punch it away. Another option you have to deal with crosses is to come off your line and claim it. But only do this if you know you can get to the ball first. Coming off your line is dangerous as if you miss the ball, you'll leave your goal unattended. Now for the other set pieces, corners, free kicks, and penalties. With a corner, it's important to take your time and communicate with your players so that nobody runs into the box before you call them. In this example, I've decided to organize my defenders based on the player with the ball. My 2 center backs are responsible for covering any near post crosses. One of my full backs is responsible for the far post, and my other player will follow the run of the player with the ball. From there, it's just a matter of making sure nobody in a red shirt gets to the ball first. With a free kick, the same rule applies. You want to get your players organized and make sure that you cover all of the possible areas the ball could go. A good rule of thumb is that the player with the ball will pass to the area with the most players. So make sure that your players don't bunch up and clog up any space. Finally, with a penalty kick, it's mostly just a guessing game. There's not much you can do to stop an expertly taken penalty kick, but you might be able to save it if they send it into the top corner. For that reason, I like to move to the left first, then wait until the striker takes a step in one direction or the other, and then dive in that direction. I used to hate penalties, but after studying the greats, I learned that it's less about skill and more about psychology. And if you become a master of delaying the inevitable, you might just save a few. So those were the basics of defending. But what about when your team has the ball? As a goalkeeper, you can use either a long throw or a goal kick to distribute the ball from the back. A long throw is useful if you have a teammate close to you who might be able to make a run in behind the opposition. Just press the button to throw the ball long and then direct it towards your teammate. A goal kick is useful if you just need to relieve pressure and get the ball up the field. A short kick is safe, but it's easy to win back possession. In this example, I noticed that they're pressing me, so I hit a long diagonal kick to get the ball past the halfway line. That gives our team some breathing room and allows us to play out from the back. If you're trying to play out from the back and you get pressured, don't panic and kick the ball aimlessly. Instead, take a deep breath and wait for one of your teammates to get free. Some of the best goalkeepers in the world are known for their ability to start attacks from the back with a long throw. In this example, I noticed that the striker is caught in an offside position. So instead of trying to play a pass back to one of my defenders, I'm gonna throw the ball over the top of him and find one of my wingers who's making a run in behind. And if I can just get the ball to him, he should be able to take it around the defender and score an easy goal. Long throws are risky, but if you pick your moments wisely, you can cause some real problems for the opposition. It takes a bit of practice, but if you get it down, it'll be one of the most satisfying things you'll ever do in football. Finally, there's the modern way of distributing the ball, passing it with your feet. Some teams like to play a sweeper keeper who comes out of his area and plays as a sort of sweeper, but it's really more of a liability than anything. Sure, you might be able to make a tackle or two, but you're giving up the safety of your goal, and if you get beat, you'll be out of position to make a recovery. Instead, you should focus on being the playmaker from the back, by receiving the ball cleanly and then spreading it to the appropriate player. It's important to note that every manager has a different philosophy on this. At Real Madrid, we like to pass the ball out from the back no matter what. But other managers prefer to clear the ball long or punt it up the field and then put pressure on the opponent. All in all, being a goalkeeper isn't that complicated. Most of the time, you're just standing around looking busy. And if you're boring enough, your fans will probably like you. Here we go again. Come with me on another magical journey through time. Let's travel back to the 60s, 70s, 80s, when the game was played at a much slower pace. Football hadn't yet been infected with the fast-paced virus that now dominates every single league across the world. And the goalkeeper was a very different animal. They were the kings of their own penalty area, rarely leaving it, punching crosses away, making simple saves, and claiming any high balls sent their way. This was the lot of the professional goalkeeper, but all of that would soon change. Now let's talk about one of the most underrated goalkeepers of all time, a man who changed the position forever, a legend from Brazil. His name was Felix Romeo. He started off at International in his homeland before moving to Spain and joining Atletico Madrid. Here he helped them win 2 La Liga titles and 2 Copa del Generalísimos, now known as the Copa del Rey. But it was during the 1970 World Cup that he became a household name. Now, Brazil didn't have the best of starts to that tournament. They lost their first game to Czechoslovakia and drew their second against England. Many thought that the 5-time champions were looking shaky and vulnerable, but nobody could have predicted what happened next. In the final group stage match against Italy, Brazil exploded into life, winning 4-1. And Romeo was sensational, pulling off save after miraculous save. This performance announced him on the world stage. He continued his fine form throughout the rest of the competition as Brazil went all the way to the final, where they faced off against Italy once more. It was an incredibly tense affair with both sides having chances, but ultimately the Brazilians prevailed, winning 4-2 after extra time. Romeo was a hero for the Seleção, conceding just 9 goals in 6 matches. And he did this while playing a brand new system, one that required him to be much more involved in the game. Before then, goalkeepers were relatively static, staying in their penalty areas and rarely getting involved in the build-up play. But under manager Zagallo, the Brazilians employed something called the sweeper keeper system. This meant that Romeo had to be much more proactive, coming off his line to collect crosses and even venturing out of the penalty area to start attacks. This innovation allowed Brazil to dominate possession and control the tempo of games, which is a tactic that is now commonplace in modern football. Fast forward to today, and there isn't a single goalkeeper in the world who doesn't regularly play out from the back and boss their team's possession game. It's safe to say that the modern game belongs to the sweeper keeper, a far cry from the shot stoppers of yesteryear. And it all began in 1970 when a certain Felix Romeo lifted the Jules Rimet trophy. At the turn of the century, football was taken to a whole new level. Gone were the days of kick-and-rush football. The modern tactical era had begun. Teams now focused on passing and moving, keeping the ball away from their own goal, and creating chances through intricate build-up play. And the goalkeeper found themselves right at the heart of this revolution. And nowhere was this more evident than at Barcelona. Under the guidance of legendary manager Pep Guardiola, Barca completely changed the way they played, dominating possession and tearing teams apart with their slick passing triangles. And at the center of this revolution stood Victor Valdés. He wasn't the most athletic or commanding presence between the sticks, but his distribution was sublime. He would regularly ping long passes up to Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Lionel Messi, starting attacks in the blink of an eye. Nowadays, this type of play is commonplace. Goalkeepers are expected to be excellent distributors, capable of picking out a pass and starting attacks with their feet. But back then, it was revolutionary. Valdés became known for his pinpoint long passes and his bravery in playing out from the back. Some criticized him for being too risky, but he didn't care. Valdés understood his strengths and used his exceptional passing range to control games and dictate the tempo. He won 3 La Liga titles and 2 Champions Leagues during his time at Camp Nou, making over 500 appearances. But it was on the international stage that he truly shone. In the 2010 World Cup, Spain made it all the way to the final where they faced the Netherlands. It was a tense and controversial encounter, with both sides canceling each other out. The Dutch were reduced to 10 men when John Heitinga was sent off in the 11th minute, but still neither side could find a breakthrough. The match went all the way to extra time and penalties. Spain won 4-2 on penalties after a dramatic shootout. Casillas saved from Depay and Robben in sudden death. But it was his distribution in the build-up to Cesc Fabregas's winning penalty that really caught the eye. With the scores at 2-2 and the pressure mounting, Casillas came off his line and launched a huge punt downfield. He found Fabregas in space, and the midfielder took a touch before firing past the helpless Martin Stekelenburg. It was a moment of magic and a display of incredible distribution. That night in Johannesburg, Casillas cemented his place in history as one of the greatest Spanish players of all time. He was the captain and leader of a golden generation that dominated European football. And he was a key member of the Spain team that won 3 major trophies in 4 years, including 2 European championships and the 2010 World Cup. It was the beginning of a new era for the Spanish national team, one that would see them become one of the most successful teams in world football. And at the center of it all was Iker Casillas, the sweeper keeper, the general on the pitch, the captain, the leader, the legend. In the modern game, goalkeepers are often the last line of defense, but they are also increasingly becoming the team's playmakers. Nowadays, they are expected to be excellent distributors of the ball, capable of starting attacks from the back and dictating the tempo of the game. And no goalkeeper does this better than Manchester City's Ederson. The Brazilian is widely regarded as the best keeper in the world, and it's not hard to see why. He's got everything: excellent distribution, great shot-stopping abilities, and a calm head under pressure. But it's his passing range and vision that really sets him apart. Ederson is not afraid to take risks, and his long passes have unlocked many a defense for Pep Guardiola's side. He's got a fantastic understanding of the game and knows when to switch the play or find a teammate in space. But it's not just about his technical abilities. Ederson is also a great leader and organizer at the back. He's always talking to his defenders, giving them instructions and making sure they're in the right position. He's got a commanding presence and is not afraid to make himself heard. His leadership qualities were on full display in the 2021 Champions League final when he helped his team secure a historic treble. In the 11th minute, Ederson made a crucial clearance off the line to prevent Chelsea from taking the lead. He then went on to make several important saves throughout the game, keeping his team in the lead. And his distribution was also on point. He completed 93% of his passes and was instrumental in creating several chances for his teammates. After the game, Pep Guardiola praised Ederson for his performance, highlighting his importance to the team. That night in Porto, Ederson cemented his place in history as one of the best goalkeepers of all time. He was the foundation of a team that won every trophy available to them, and he did it in style, playing beautiful football and making crucial contributions at both ends of the pitch. Nowadays, goalkeepers don't just have to be good with their hands, they have to be good with their feet too. They have to be able to distribute the ball accurately and start attacks from the back. And no goalkeeper does this better than Alisson Becker of Liverpool. The Brazilian shot stopper is another player who has revolutionized the position with his excellent distribution and passing range. Alisson is a complete goalkeeper, equally adept at stopping shots and starting attacks. He's got a fantastic understanding of the game and knows when to play a safe pass or take a risk. He's got a rocket of a throw as well, which he uses to quickly get his team up the field and put pressure on their opponents. But it's his passing range that really sets him apart. Ederson can hit a long pass from anywhere inside his own half, and his accuracy is phenomenal. He's got a keen eye for a pass and is always looking to find a teammate in space. Alisson's distribution has unlocked many a defense for Liverpool and created countless chances for his teammates. But it's not just about his technical abilities. Ederson is also a great leader and organizer at the back. He's always barking orders and making sure his defense is in the right position. He's got a calm head under pressure and is never afraid to take responsibility. Ederson was instrumental in Liverpool's success in recent years, helping them win the Champions League and the Premier League, and he's been just as important in their domestic cup's success. In the 2022 FA Cup final, Ederson made a string of incredible saves to keep Liverpool in the game. He then went on to score the winning penalty in the shootout, as Liverpool beat Chelsea 6-5 on penalties after a 0-0 draw. That night at Wembley, Ederson showed why he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He was a match-winning hero for Liverpool, stopping crucial shots and scoring the winning penalty. And it all started with his excellent distribution from the back. These legendary saves are not mere moments in football history. They are turning points that redefined the goalkeeper's role. From Romeo's dance with destiny in 1970, to Casillas' brilliance in 2010, and Ederson's heroics in 2021, these goalkeepers showcased how their skills could change the course of a game. Their achievements transcended their primary duty of shot stopping. They demonstrated how goalkeepers can be playmakers, orchestrating attacks, and dictating the tempo like conductors of an orchestra. They redefined what it meant to be a goalkeeper, proving that they could be artists between the posts, capable of pulling off acrobatic saves that left fans in awe. As we witness these moments of greatness, we realize that the goalkeeper is no longer just a shot stopper. They are the foundation of modern football, the last line of defense and the first line of attack. They are the heartbeat of their teams, the silent leaders who inspire confidence and stability. They stand tall between the posts, ready to defy gravity and expectations. And when the chips are down, they rise to the occasion with saves that seem almost impossible. They are the modern goalkeepers, the successors to a rich legacy. And their journey is far from over. They continue to evolve, adapting to the changing demands of the game and pushing the boundaries of what is possible between the sticks. As we look to the future of football, we can be sure of one thing: the goalkeeper will continue to amaze us with their skill, bravery, and unwavering determination. So let's raise a glass to the goalkeepers, the unsung heroes of the beautiful game. Here's to their agility, their reflexes, and their ability to make the impossible look routine. Here's to the dance of the modern goalkeeper, a ballet of saves and distribution that leaves us in awe. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about the history of football. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you never miss an upload. We've got lots of amazing videos coming your way. Thanks for watching.